Alright, this is Coach Brett with a little bit of how to ride aero bars on gravel. I'm going uphill and it's a little chunky here, so there's no need to be in aero bars at this second. But here we go. Little washboard, get in the aero bars. And you'll see I've got 1 foot down on the left. I went to double foot cross stance there to clear that, give me a little suspension as I go over that hole. And I just pick a nice smooth line. A lot of people are afraid to ride aero bars on gravel, and you don't need to be. In the link, I'll put CG's elbow patents. They have a centimeter of cushioning, maybe 1.5, maybe a little bit more. They're unbelievably comfortable. You should put them on every aero bar setup you've got. Let's see, it's going to get a little technical here, so I'm going to get out of the aero bar, so I keep 1 foot low for balance. Especially in a turn, you might have a car coming and it's rough. You might need to put it on the brakes really quick. Same situation here, a little sandy. Watch forward. Just briefly. Into the aero bars, or into the hoods, and then back again. I've learned that for stability on gravel, when you get low, going fast downhill, 1 foot down is actually really stable. It lowers your center of gravity down into that point below your axle. Put your weight on the down foot, like my right foot right now. Back into the hoods, look at the turn, glute. Back into the aero bars. Now this is a little chunky right here, but it's straight. You could maybe here, I'm going into a headwind, so this aero position is really smart right here. Because it cuts down on the wind resistance going into a headwind. Now I'm going slow enough, it doesn't really matter. Change positions. You know, aero bars are also comfort bars, and they're ultra distant cycling bars. They allow you to switch up your position. Give your hands a break. What are you doing there? So you don't stay in them all the time. And when you're going slow uphill, or you got a significant tailwind, they don't matter as much. So it's okay to hop out of them, get a different position. We're gonna get past this intersection here, and then we're gonna sip of water in the aero bars. So it's totally fine. Strong headwind, so a good time. Got a right foot down for balance, counterbalance. Using my hips to steer the bike more than anything. Oh, other water bottle. And then for easy access, I'm actually currently using this a bottle holder between the elbows, which is really aero, and then it's easy to grab that bottle. I'm tall, and reaching way back here to grab stuff is kind of unstable. I could just reach right here and then grab it. Another gravel road up here on the right. Not that one. Oh, you know what? I think I turned around before we hit it. Let's see. People think aerobars are dangerous. People's hands aren't on their brakes. Dude, you don't have to be in the aerobars. All you do is just stay out of them when it's technical, and you're good to go. Is this our road right here? I think this is it. Yeah. Interesting fact, this is called Bat's Ferry because there used to be a ferry at the end of this road crossing the Brazos River, like a hand-pull raft, like Civil War era kind of stuff. A little bit of champagne gravel right here. I also have a suspension stem. You can see me bouncing the bars maybe. There's a deer. As long as you're going straight, which is a lot of gravel, just sit here in your aerobar. And then, if you're a triathlete, you're practicing for triathlon. If you're a bike packer, you're practicing for ultra distance bike packing. If you're a gravel rider, gravel racer, you're practicing for those times when you're on your own and you don't have somebody to ride with. There's some washboard on the right, I just avoided it. Just staying in the smoothest track. I predict I'll get on the hoods when I climb that little hill right there. Stand and climb. And then you don't grab the aero bars too tight, or else your hands get tired. These have silicone grips that I slid on. And they're kind of cushy, so they're kind of nice. That's a little suspension in a way right there. standing fine. Now, rest and recover on this downhill. 1 foot down. Even though it creates a little bit more drag, it's more stable. Seems like it's okay to do this. Nice and straight. Non-chunky. We're almost to the end of this road over this hill. It'll be downhill and probably chunky. We'll see. And then the other thing that helps is to put a really wide front tire in with lower pressure. You get a little suspension there, and that helps take the edge off so you can ride in the aero bars. You can ride longer in general. If you learn from mountain biking, go ahead and get in the gear that you're going to need. Get a really low gear. That's the Brazos River right there. So 150 years ago, there used to be a ferry across this river right there. How about that? And here's our nice chunk. And so this is kind of mixed in. You just kind of pick your way around it. This is when you ride on the hoods, when you're in stuff like what you see here. No big deal. You get on the bike with a little bit of downhill momentum here. Just need a pedal stroke or two. Get really low gearing. Gently pick your way. Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of chunky and uphill, so you're in the hoods. Aero bars aren't a religion. You don't have to live and die by them. You just get them when it's appropriate. Zen is appropriate response. Oh. So you'll notice, on purpose, I'm right-handed, but on purpose, on occasion, I drink from with my left hand on my left side. Wow. I just got new cables in my mechanical shifting, and it's a little, after a few weeks without a whack, cables are stretched. When you ride really long distances, and let's say you're right-handed and you always grab bottles out with your right hand, you're putting a lot of pressure on your left hand because you're trying to control the bike with one hand. I'm actually getting the aero position. One hand, so that now I can feel there's no wind. You get electronic shifting like I have on my tri-bike. Got a really nice tri-bike. Correct speed concept. Electronic shifting all over the place. Because on that bike you do live in the aero bars for an Ironman. The gravel's a little slower and a little more technical. And a little more vertical. There's more opportunities to sit up, because it doesn't matter when you're going slow uphill. It's actually good for you to get out of the air. Hard to tell, but this is a gradual uphill. Chunk right there, sort of, not really chunk. Loose, let's say. It's only a gentle curve. I'm not going that fast. stay in the aero position because I am going into a headwind now. So I'm on a Vast all-road bike, which has an advertised clearance of 42. And if you're depressed because your bike doesn't have more, I wish mine had 50 front and rear. There is a little bit of hope. Check your fork, or you could get an aftermarket fork like this. The stock fork on this was Vast, but whoever they got it from, they can clear a 50mm tire, just barely. So I run a 47, a Pathfinder, Specialized Pathfinder 47, or 48, whatever it is, and it clears. There's plenty of room to spare. And I've noticed that on a lot. We're back on the hood because everyone's flowing up, there's no headwind anymore. The vehicles are really good time to be in the hoods too. A little loose right here. One hand. Hoods, one hand, aerobars. That's not gravel. I could drive my Honda Civic through that. Hold on. It's gonna get fun for a minute here. We're gonna do a little foot out dragging too. Okay. Take turns in the Aerobars. They recently re-graveled this road. So it's really unpredictable. It's chunky over here. Right. Smooth over here on the left. The cool thing about gravel is it changes constantly, like a mountain bike trail. Every day it's a little bit different. And then a storm will come through and it'll be really different. Looks like some of the surface, this is not asphalt, this is flat gravel. Until they pull it in. It's a little washboardy up here. I just rode to this earlier. Okay, so a car could come, so I gotta get on the hood, foot out. Lean the bike out, body in. That stabilizes the bike. That was downhill and fast on the way out. Did the same thing there. And we're coming up on an Ezekiel, or donkey. I biked 4.5 hours yesterday. Ran an hour, 6 miles this morning. It's crazy heat. So I'm riding a little bit tired, so I'm going to sit up on the hood. It's also kind of hot. So it does cool me down a little bit. Let's see if Zeke is here. Zeke! If he's not here, I'm gonna leave the carrots. Zeke! Zeke! Okay, let's go ahead and start leaving the carrots for him. We'll ride this way. See that? Okay. I gotta get back before it gets dark. I already came by once and he wasn't here. He's probably at work. Doing what does a donkey do? Donkey stuff. One of my favorite jokes about bears. What is bear doing with bear stuff? Anyway, that's riding on Aerobars on gravel. Very safe. No big deal. If I was riding with somebody else, like I'm going downhill into a little bit of a headwind right now, great time to get in the Aerobar. But if I was riding with somebody else directly behind them, why would I be in the Aerobar? There's no reason. And then I ride on the hoods and my hands on the hood. It's pretty simple. And don't forget, they're only banned for pro in most races. But some pros complain. My theory is they didn't know how to ride in Aerobars. They were scared. Because all you got to do is have there's a lot of unspoken rules. There's an unspoken rule about Aerobars. The people that don't ride Aerobars don't know. Because you don't ride Aerobars in a group, if you're not in the front. If you're in a group and you're on the very front, then it's okay. But if you're in a group, so that you're able to brake, emergency brake, you ride with your hand. And you're nice and stable and you can dodge things off the road. I think at Gravel Locos, probably spent 5 hours solo, and half of that into a headwind. I mean, come on. That's really dangerous. Don't cross in the other lane on a hill. I was a little kid and saw a guy on a motorcycle do that and die right in front of our house. We lived on top of the hill. Red and blue lights all night long. We're wiping them up off the pavement. He hit an oncoming car. That was on John Gray Road in Cincinnati. I was 3 years old. I still remember it. It's how dramatic it was. Look how nice this is. With the Aerobars. Oh yeah, just about like 3-4 hours, how much more time it would add to be riding into the wind. Out there at Gravel Locos. And because I would pass people riding upright. I'd pass them like they were standing still. And I wasn't pedaling any harder. Gravel riding, adventure riding, bike packing is so much like Iron Man, and vice versa, where you're responsible for yourself, and it's death by 1,000 cuts. So eliminate the risky stuff. Make everything you can easier. That's good. Piece of cake. I was having a conversation with a friend who does not ride Aerobars on his gravel bike, and I don't get it. Why would you want to focus on aero? And it's like, you know, I don't need to go fast. I go, dude, it's not really actually about going faster for fast sake. I can do that in a car. If you average 18 miles per hour instead of 16, every hour, that's 2 more miles of